Okay. Good.
All right. So always make sure it's not loaded. Drop your magazine. Hammer probably has to be back to make it a little bit easier. You're going to point the gun straight up and you're going to press down. This is called your recoil spring plug. This guy moves back and forth. It controls this little bushing right here. So you're going to push it down, being mindful where you point it because it can disappear into your face or into the ceiling. It's going to be your choice on that one. And then you're going to rotate this guy one direction. Let's see if I can do it by hand. Sometimes you're going to need a bushing wrench. There we go. It's going to rotate all the way to the right first, 90 degrees. That releases the recoil spring plug just like that. It's under a lot of tension, so if you let it go quickly, it will fly into Never Never Land. Now, you turn the gun on its side here, and you're going to bring the slide back just a little bit. Now, there are two notches. That's your usual slide stop notch, where the slide stop actually engages, holds the slide back once the gun is empty. And there's this little second kind of half moon notch. You're actually going to pull the half moon notch to be even with this little area right here. And as I pull it back, you will see what I mean. So you're going to pull it back, and you see there's going to be like a little opening that it kind of meshes with. Once you get to about that area, on the right-hand side, you see your slide stop actually goes all the way through. You're going to press it from the right to the left. You can see it'll pop out just a little bit right there, and then you're just going to grab it and kind of wiggle that sucker out. Once that's free, the whole slide will come off the frame like so, and just push it. Hammer stays back the whole time, then go ahead and just set your frame aside. And then you're going to see you're going to be able to pull your recoil spring out like so, your recoil spring guide rod just like that, and to pull the barrel out, you go back to the front to the bushing here, where you're going to rotate it about, I don't know, not quite 180 degrees to about right there. Bushing comes straight out like so, and the barrel will come out. The barrel will come out when you push your little link, this guy right here. You're going to push it forward so it lays flat, and it'll come out the front, just like so. And that's field stripping. That's as far as you really want to go. Now to put it back together, the opposite. You're going to put the barrel back in. You're going to put it in chamber first, butt end, making sure the link is back. It's going to slide all the way to the rear. You're going to take your bushing, you're going to insert it back just like the way it came out, so it's going to be off to the gun's left, just like so. You're going to push it all the way in. Once it gets in, flip that sucker all the way to the gun's right, stage right. And then you're going to take your recoil spring guide, you're going to lay that down there. This does have a little half moon cutout. That lays actually right on the bottom of the barrel, just like so. And then when I put these things back together, I like to put the recoil spring and the plug back in here just to hold everything together, because that keeps parts from disappearing, makes it a little easier in the long run. Now, you got to put this thing back onto the frame itself. Now, the frame is going to be staked just like this. Hammer's going to be cocked. Your safety, you got to make sure that's down because it can go up. And if you put it up, the slide will never go back on, so you got to make sure that's down. Making sure here again that there's no magazine in there. And then you're going to slide your slide back on there. Now, your slide has a couple of little guide rails, which are these two little cutouts right here. They're going to fit on these little rail cutouts on the frame, just so you can see. There's your camera, just like that. So you want to make sure those guys line up. They're pretty hard to miss, because if you miss it, the gun just won't go back together. So you're going to put it on there just like so. Also, when you're doing this, you want to make sure the link, which this little silver thing that rotates, that's called your link, is down like that. Because what you're going to do is you're going to have to line up that link with the hole on your frame, which is this little hole right there. Now, when you put it together, you're going to look through the frame hole. There we go. You can kind of see it on the camera there. And you're going to slide it back. You're going to see it's going to disappear for a bit. Then once you get to about here, let's see, the camera doesn't show it too well, but once you get to about here, if it doesn't line up, you can just back it out, start again. There, once you get to that point, you're going to put your slide stop back into that hole, so we should hold it just like that, and the slide should stay, so you should be able to pull it down like this, and it'll kind of work. Then you're going to put this little notch right here back into that square hole. And then you're going to move the slide back just like when you took it apart. You're going to match that little half moon with the square slot. Then you're going to push on your slide stop that way and in at the same time. Click right in. Bring the slide forward, and you know you did it right. Now the next hardest part, you're going to push your recoil spring plug back into the slide just like so, making sure you control so it doesn't go off into your face, and then rotate the bushing back.